What drone should I buy? The first question you need to ask yourself is, do I buy a drone over 250 grams, like this Mavic 2 here, or do I buy a drone under 250 grams, like this DJI Mini 3 Pro here? Now, the advantages of the smaller mini drones under 250 grams are they're exempt from certain regulations and restrictions, and this can make it easier and more convenient to fly the drone in many different locations. Also, they're portable and compact. Mini drones are small, lightweight. That makes them highly portable. You can easily carry them in your bag, or you can even put them in your pocket. They're affordable as well, budget friendly and a lower starter cost, so you don't have to spend so much money. Now, for indoor use, due to their small size and lightweight, they are easier to fly in confined spaces if you want to fly indoors. There is less risk of damage with the smaller drones because they are lightweight. They are less likely to cause significant damage to people or property. Now, the disadvantages of the smaller drones under 250 grams. A lot of them have limited features and capabilities. They often lack the advanced features like collision avoidance, automated flight modes, active tracking, and they have more basic cameras. They also have a major problem with wind. Due to their lightweight structure, they are more affected by wind and cannot fly in high, stronger wind conditions. The camera quality on these drones is also not as high as that found in larger drones, so they may have an impact on your aerial photography or your videography. And finally, they have a limited visual line of sight, so you can't fly them as far away from you as you would like because they are difficult to see, and as you learnt in the restrictions, you have to be able to orientate the drone, and that's very difficult with the drone this small at over 100 meters. Before purchasing a drone, consider your specific needs and preferences. If you're a beginner or looking for a casual drone for fun and more basic aerial footage, a sub 250 drone might be a great option for you. However, if you're interested in advanced or professional photography, videography, or more advanced drone features, and a larger and more capable drone might be a much better choice for you. So let's take a deep dive into the current DJI range of drones, and we'll take a look at the existing ones that are for sale now, the new ones that are for sale, and some of the older drones that you can buy secondhand on eBay. So here we are on the DJI website. So let's click on the DJI Mini first, which are the drones under 250 grams, and you'll see there's a selection. There's the Mini 1, which I suggest you never ever buy. The airframe was very weak. It's not a good drone. You may see quite a lot for sale on eBay. Do not buy them. That is our recommendation. Then we have the Mini 2, which is a current model. We have the Mini SE and the Mini 2 SE. Again, this is a drone I would suggest you shouldn't buy, the Mini SE, if they're still selling it now in August 2023. And then you've got the Mini 3 Pro and the Mini 3. So the difference between these two here, the Mini 3 and the Mini 3 Pro, is this doesn't have any collision avoidance on it, and it also doesn't have any focus or active track. That's what the difference in the price is. So the Mini 3 Pro has the collision avoidance, which is these two eyes on the front, and collision avoidance on the back. Then there's the Mini 2 SE and the Mini SE. Prices for these, the Mini SE starts at £269, and then you've got the Mini SE, which is £309, and with a combination, which is the combo pack, where they sell you 2 extra batteries and a case and a charging cradle, that is £439. Then we move up to the Mini 3 here, which is £429 for the drone with the ordinary controller, then £588 with the combination pack, the 2 extra batteries, and then with a inbuilt screen it's £569. So this is for the Mini 3. And then we've got the Mini 3 Pro here, which is £709 for the basic drone. So let's have a look at that. And then £769, which is only £60 extra for the inbuilt screen. So there's a special offered deal on this at the moment. And then they're charging for the extra Mini 3 Pro Fly More kit £159. So that gives you £868 for the drone with the basic controller and the combo pack. Let's now move on to the DJI Air series, which is the next one up. And we start off with the Mavic Air, which was the original one, which they no longer sell. But the weight of the Mavic Air is 430 grams. The Mavic Air 2, which they also no longer sell, it's out of production, it's 570 grams. And the actual battery life of the original Mavic Air was 21 minutes, and of the Mavic Air 2 it's 34 minutes. Now looking at the Air 2, which is a current model, the weight of it is 595 grams with a battery life of 31 minutes, and the price is £899 to buy, or £1,169 if you go for the combo pack. And then here we have the Mavic Air 3, which is the latest drone that they've launched, which is 2 lenses on the front of the drone, and that is 720 grams weight with a battery life of 46 minutes. And let's look at the prices on that. We're talking about £962 for the basic drone with a standard controller, £1,199 if you have the Fly More combo with the extra 2 batteries and the charger and the case. And then if you have the Fly More combo with the built-in screen, you're talking about £1,379. Now let's take a look at the Mavic series. And the Mavic started off with the Mavic Pro Platinum and the Mavic Pro, which are no longer in production. And the weight of those drones, the Pro was 734 grams, as was the Mavic Pro Platinum. And they had a battery life of 24 minutes for the Pro and 30 minutes for the Platinum. Then the Mavic 2 came out, and that has just gone out of production recently, although you can still buy an enterprise model from them. And the Mavic 2 had a weight of 907 grams and a 31-minute battery life. Then they brought out the Mavic 3, which they've actually just stopped now. They're not selling it anymore. It's been replaced by these two, which is one's called the Classic. This is now called the Classic. The Mavic 3 is 895 grams with a 46-minute battery life, as is the Mavic 3 Classic, which is 895 and 46. They're the same, in effect, the same drone near enough. Slight change. The price of the Mavic 3 Classic, if we hit this now and have a look, is £1,399 for the basic unit with the standard controller. With the controller with the inbuilt screen, click on here, you can see the controller with the inbuilt screen. That's £1,500. And if you go for the Fly More combo, it's £1,929, including the new controller, the bigger controller here. If we look at the DJI Mavic 3 Pro now, let's have a look at the prices of that. For the drone and the inbuilt standard controller, it's now £1,879 for the Pro. If you go for the Fly More combo, it's £2,549, and then they do an upgraded controller, which is this one here, and that's £3,169. So that's the pricing on the Mavic series. If we take a look at the Phantom series, they're still selling the Phantom 4 Pro version 2, and the price of that is £1,589. And they're also selling one with an RTK controller, but that's a lot more expensive. Let's take a look at the Inspire series as well, and you can see there's the Inspire 1, which stopped production probably 4.5–5 years ago. The Inspire 2, which you can still buy, but they are winding down because they've just replaced it with the Inspire 3. The Inspire 2 was £5,000, so it's probably not in most people's price bracket. And the Inspire 3, if you wanted to buy that, that's an eye-watering, if you want to have a quick look, £13,419. So used for the top-end type videography. And then the final thing which we'll have a look at, some people are still buying second-hand, is the Spark series. So this was the first mini drone that they brought out, and you can see they're trying to sell you a Mini 3 when you try and go on that Spark site. But the Spark was a good drone, and the weight of this was 300 grams, so it was over the 250 gram mark with a battery life of 16 minutes. But these are still very popular on eBay. So you've got the Mini series, the Air series, the Mavic series are all the current products, with the Inspire being the more expensive product. So let's now take a look at some of the DJI drones that are on eBay second-hand. I'll start with the Mini 2. There's one here for £500 to buy it now, and you can see Mini 2 here, reasonably good deal. Well, it looks okay. But when you're looking on eBay, also check out the seller to make sure that they've got, a lot of feedback. There's got 21 here. I'm not sure about this one. Let's have a look down here, and you can start to look at it and make your own mind up. If you can go and fly the drone, it's much better to do that and see the people face to face before you part with your money, but they may be too far away from you to do that. Let's have a look at, say, another under 250 gram drone. There's one here. Let's have a click on that, which is got a case and everything else. Have a look at the, get rid of that. Have a look at the seller. They seem to be reasonable. Got some decent communication in the past 6 months. If we have a look at some other drones now, let's have a look at the Phantom 4. There's a couple of Phantom 4s for sale here. This is £449. Got quite a lot of accessories, as you can see. Looks a pretty genuine sale. And the seller has got a reasonable amount of good reviews. Looks a pretty genuine purchase, that does. Obviously you really need to see how far you can go, how far you're prepared to travel to go and have a look at this, and whether you're going to take a risk on it being shipped to you. There's a couple more in here. This one here, this looks quite good. This has got an inbuilt screen. This is a pre-owned for best offers, Surrey Drone Solutions. Let's have a look at that. Got a lot of feedback. They seem to be, and there's a reasonable price, so you can pick some good deals up. Let's finally have a look at DJI Spark that's for sale here, which seems to have all of the items that you would require, and price is £184, but the reserve's not been met and there's 2 days to go, so that'd probably be about £200 probably in the end. So those are some of the potential purchases that you could look at on eBay, but eBay changes every day.
So have a good look, see if you can find something that is the right price, maybe nearby to you, that you can go and test on eBay if you're looking to buy a second-hand drone and save some money.
The drones I would recommend are under 250 grams, the Mini 3 Pro, DJI Mini 3 Pro. It's by far the best drone. Okay, it's the most expensive, but it has the most features. It has full collision avoidance front and back, and it also has the focus tracking, which is a really key element in the latest drones. It's very stable even in the wind, although it does shake around a lot. The gimbal is extremely stable and rock solid, so that the images are without blur and the videos are without shake. So I'm really impressed with this drone. We own a couple of ourselves, and for under £1,000 or $1,000, it's the best drone out there at the moment. For over 250 grams, I would recommend the Mavic 2 Pro. This has a Hasselblad camera, it has a variable aperture, the images are spectacular, and the drone is extremely stable. It comes in at just over 900 grams. Okay, you can't buy it new anymore, it's been discontinued, but they are good value second-hand now, because people have bought the Mavic 3 and invested in the Mavic 3, so there are a number of these for sale on the second-hand market. So that's the drone I would recommend with all the features for the over 250 gram mark. So that concludes my two recommendations. Happy flying!
If you enjoyed this video, then subscribe to the channel, or watch the next video in the playlist, or the new videos that we've just recently downloaded. Bye for now.